What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got my new 2021 Jeep Wrangler JL 4xe in the garage, and what we're going to be doing is installing one of those flag grill inserts right here to replace this honeycomb. So whether you've got a Sport, a Sahara, a Rubicon, it doesn't matter. The process is all the same, and what I'm going to be using is not one of those expensive $100, $200 grill inserts you see. No, I've got one that I got off Amazon about 2 years ago, and you can see it's holding up very, very well. There's no issues with the powder coat. These are actually aluminum, and this is about $35 to $40, so it's very inexpensive. It's a mod that you can do to your Jeep in about 20 minutes with simple hand tools. It's very simple, very effective, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so there's really not much to this. You actually had seen me do the reversal of this where I've removed the grill from my 2018 Wrangler in one of the previous videos. Step one, simply open the hood. Now if you're like me and you barely open the hood, you may be saying to yourself, where in the hell is the hood prop? Guess what? They tried to trick you. It's located up here. So go ahead and pop that baby down and then get your hood set up. Step two, now all you've got to do is remove these little inserts here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now to accomplish this task, you need nothing more than just a simple flathead screwdriver. Just kind of pop that bad boy in there, pry up, pop this piece out, and then you can wait till later till we remove it to actually pull this out. But do this real quick for all 6, and then we're moving on to the next step. Once you've got all the clips out, just start to pull up. And you'll see how these just kind of pop out. Make sure we don't lose any of these. All this stuff does have to go back in. So just proceed to go right down the line, get all of these out, and then we'll go on to popping off this front grill. All right, let's see if I can do it with one hand. So the next step is literally just to pull this forward. Now the only thing that's going to be holding this on at this point, forgot one more clip, is going to be, basically there's a bunch of clips down here in the bottom of the grill and kind of 2 fat clips here. And so basically once we get this kind of rocked forward like it is, we literally just have to use a bunch of force. You can already hear one of the clips just came loose. Now there's just the very bottom ones. These do take some force, so don't be too scared. It is gonna, feel like maybe you're gonna break something, but I've had these where they pop off and they hit the bumper. It hasn't scratched the paint, hasn't done any damage, and I've done it a couple times now putting it on and off my 2018. So anyway, go ahead and pop it. Let me see if I can just get it real quick while I'm holding the camera. Well, that was the easiest one yet. So that's all there is to it, guys. It's literally been about 3 minutes of work and we've got the whole grill off. Guys, on to the next step. We've got now 6 screws to remove, and these are the Torx bit or Torx head screws. So there's 6 of these guys. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 and 8. Now then on top of that, we do have to remove, I think, these 4 pieces, these white clips. And actually, well, yeah, they do have to come out because then we have to take a screwdriver and kind of like pop these little clips. But basically this will come apart in 3 sections. So let's go ahead and pop the screws out. I'll pop the white things out and then I'll show you the next step. So correction, it's actually a T20 Torx bit. So now go ahead and proceed to just pop off these 6 guys. Alright, so now from this point, let me bring you guys a little closer so you can put your peepers on here, but we just need to get a screwdriver real quick. We can pop out these white clips, pop out the other clips. This grill will be off, and then all we're going to be doing is putting on the new grill and popping this all back into place, reversal of how we just did it. So it's very, very simple. Now for these white clips, don't be scared. Just get yourself that same screwdriver we used earlier. Push down on this side of the clip, and then you'll be able to pop this thing through. I just can't do it with one hand while I got the camera, but that's all there is to it. So let's get those white clips out real quick. All right, guys, so with those white clips out, all we've got now is kind of this little tab here, just adding a little bit of tension. Actually, to me, this is a much lighter material that they use, at least on this Rubicon, or this is a change for 21 versus what they had back in 18. So it almost, to me, feels like I can just kind of pry this off without a screwdriver, where previously I kind of had to use one. And don't be scared to rough this thing up, a little bit of force can go a long way. Okay guys, so at this point, there's basically 2 different scenarios. If you have a Sport where you don't have these extra inserts, you can simply just take the grill, stick it up here, and then proceed to finish the installation and put in the American flag grill. If you have a Sahara or Rubicon like I do, where it has these extra kind of black grill inserts, like you can see, these are kind of just held in basically by pressure of this. So once we remove it, we now need to put back in the 8 screws. So the 8 screws do have pretty large, oops, sorry for my finger there. These 8 screws do have pretty large washers, and so you can actually just kind of stick those back in and make sure that you get a piece of the edge of the plastic just to help kind of hold this thing in place. It's going to have pressure from the grill also pushing, but because of these protrusions, which is actually part of the yellow grill, you could still get some movement here. So we do want to make sure we have this kind of screwed down pretty well, and then we should have no trouble at all. So I'm going to go ahead and put the screws back in. From that point, we're going to start popping the grill back together. All right, from this point, all we've done, I've just taken, I've got those 8 screws back in, holding, again, this kind of black plastic piece that I think only comes for sure on a Rubicon. Also, I think on the Sahara models. If you have a Sport, you don't need to do it. But otherwise, we just got it sitting here. I'm going to proceed to kind of get these clipped in, or at least started, and then I'll drop the grill in place. At this point, all I'm doing, I just kind of worked myself starting in the middle, and I'm just kind of pushing in each of these clips, just kind of popping right here from the bottom. So right now it's at a good point where I've got still some room to get my hand in there, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the grill and drop that in. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just feeling the freedom right now. So once you get the grill just drop down in there, you just kind of make sure it's lined up. There is some play left to right, not a whole lot. You're actually going to be hitting, see how you can only go maybe an inch or so each way. So just kind of get it lined up so that way you're covered on each side over here. And that's it. Now we're just going to take it. We'll finish popping in the bottom. We'll push the top back and then pop in our clips. All right, guys, there we have it. So literally we started this project at 9:20. It is now 9:42. So it took me 22 minutes start to finish. And that includes freaking setting up the tripod and trying to, tape this for you guys, right? So you could probably do this in 15 minutes. It's super simple, super easy to do. Totally changes the look of your Jeep. I mean, it's got to add 50 horsepower. We're talking from 375. Now we're at 4 1/4. I mean, we're going to be beating Hemis out here, guys. So if you guys didn't know, the Jeep is actually designed right here in Auburn Hills, Michigan, and it's made by our brothers just a little farther south in Ohio. So it's one of the only truly American-made trucks. Of course, parts are sourced globally, but I mean, it's pretty awesome to be driving around in all of this America. So anyway, if this helps you guys, go ahead and click that subscribe button, hit like, it helps the algorithm, and we'll see you guys on the next one.